Basement rock walls. It can be very beautiful. I'm telling you right now. I mean, I love them. Really beautiful. But everything that is beautiful does have an ugly side. And the ugly side is going to be water. You can see a little bit of the water coming. This is my front wall. Somebody decided to do a German smear. You know, just took some cement and smeared it up against the beautiful rocks and ugh. But anyhow, I did clean the lower half of it because they were all the same. And we repointed them. Obviously these rocks have a lot of lime in it because you can see that the mortar's turning white. That's caused by lime and water. But didn't solve my problem. So we had to do the inevitable. Reroute the water. And here we go. Of course, somebody poured a slab in here before I got here, so we had to cut the slab. Ugh, that wasn't fun. Only a day and a half of hard sweating labor. Put a black pipe in it. You can still see the bottom of the wall where it seeps in after it rains. You know, my moral of the story is here, guys, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you want to call yourselves. Trying to stop water from coming in a wall is almost impossible, because if I can manage to stop it through the seams, it just comes into the rocks. You can see discolorations in the rocks. So stopping the water was not going to happen. I don't think even if I painted this, no matter what I'd done, waterproof, water paint, latex, whatever, rubber itself in general, all I would have done is cause a bigger problem on the other side and push the wall in and collapse the wall. So we decided to bite the bullet, trench it, come to the end of my trench. Oh, there's my sledgehammer I couldn't find. Anyhow, to a sub pump. Nothing super fancy. I just stuck it into an old bucket of compound I had laying around. Dug a hole deep enough for it. Put the pipe into it. Oh, look, more water came in last night. Yay! But guess what? It went to the sub pump. So now, I know I'm going to have water issues no matter what I do. You can see the wall still, you know, the dampness in the rocks, the discoloration. That's water coming through the rocks. The rocks are not going to stop the water, so no matter what I do here, my best solution here in this particular case was just to put a sub pump. I'm not 100% done with this. You know, there is a beautiful saw I used to cut. Oh, by the way, FYI, I couldn't use a gas saw in here because it's in a house. There's people living in here, and I didn't want to risk, you know, carbon monoxide poisoning. So I did with this electric saw. It actually worked pretty good. You know, I was actually surprised, to be honest with you. You know, it's just an infinity, just to solid cut floors and cement, but you know, it wasn't that expensive. Only $400-500, I believe. I paid for it a couple, you know, 5 years ago maybe. But it worked good in this case. Took forever, but it worked great. I didn't kill nobody. So I ran the pipe. I just ran it through this masonry wall, out the wall. Put the water outside in a different location so it doesn't come to the front. Seemed to work pretty good. I mean, the rock walls are beautiful. There was some work done in here, obviously, in the past. I did some more work up here. You know, I'll show you how to point this in a minute, how I do it. There was a special trick to it, not to get your rocks all dirty. We're going to go through that real quick here. This is how I'm going to mix my mortar. It's an S-type cement, okay, mortar mix. Dry powder. Put a couple trials. I don't usually do too much at a time. Remember, it's an S mix. My goal here is to try to make it as dry as possible, and I'll show you how I do that. There is a trick to this. Okay, I think that's plenty for now, for what I want to do. What I usually do is I'll take a garden hose, or depending what I have, but I'm going to set it on a mist. And what we're going to try to do is we're going to wet the top of the cement. You can see it's wetting in the light. I don't want to put too much water. I'm going to push it aside, put a little bit more water, push it aside, put a little more water. Of course, I got this on mist. I'm just wetting the cement. I'm in no hurry. You can see what I'm doing here. I'm just wetting it. But instead of trying to put a whole bunch of water and trying to make it perfect, this way here, you can see how dry this is right now, okay? I'll do this a little longer. I don't mix very much because it's going to want to dry quickly on me. My goal there is just to try to get it wet, not soaked. And there's a reason behind this. As you can see right now, see what I'm doing? I'm not hitting, I'm going to put just a little bit more in here. And that's as far as I'm going with the water. The reason behind this is I don't want to make a big mess on the rocks. So when I put it on, the less water I can use, and I can turn it into a kind of a mud ball, but not quite. You see how it's going to break easy? Okay? See how my hand ain't getting all, well, too dirty. That's the goal behind it. Because we don't want the rocks to get too dirty. The less water I use, the easier it is for me to brush it off. I'll show you how to do that next. Before I start putting the mortar in, I like to clean my bricks. And I use a brush, which I had already done, but I'm just showing what I did. And to get into the finer cracks, once I get that done, I'm going to get a ball of the mortar we just mixed, and then I'll get my trowel. You can see it's not really wetting my gloves. I take it, put it up into my block, in my rocks. Hopefully I can show you. I mean, if you want to use a trowel, you can. Or if you want to use your fingers, you can push it in. Now, you'll see why I put it so dry, because I'm going to make a little bit of a mess. I'll push it in. I can use the back of my trowel, my handle. I can push it in this way if I wanted to. I can make my joint a little bit better. Okay. Take some of the big stuff off. Stuff I don't want on it. Then we can take the brush. And then this. Now you can see the more I brush it, it brings the water out to it. Okay? What you can't see is underneath here, actually nothing is slumping. So it's staying just the way it is. The ones over here, I can get a bigger brush if I really want to clean the rocks. Like if I did, I could, because it's not stuck there. That's it.